Still good?
We're good. We're good.
Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Under Contract podcast. This is episode number 2. Got my boy Zach here. Zach, why don't you kind of introduce yourself and let everybody know how we know each other? And
So what's up? Hey, thanks for having me, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Zach, a.k.a. Z-Money. Some people know me as a regular name. Some people know me as a nickname. We go way back to the South Houston days,
That's
man.
right.
Wildcats, I want to say. Right?
And South Houston Little League.
Yeah. I was always scared to play football, though, man.
Yeah, I like baseball better. I never like getting ear holed. So
Yeah. So, and then your brother, Chad, with the football. And
him and Hunter.
Him and Hunter.
Yep. The same T-ball team or something?
Exactly. Yeah. T-ball and then Wildcats as well.
Yeah. So where'd you go to high school?
I went to Pasadena Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I am 31. I hate adding that one. I wish I could just say straight 30, but
I'm 32, bro. I'll be 33 this year.
that's crazy, man. Time flies.
Yeah. So what do you do for money?
So what do I do for money, man? Good question. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the money. I am a longshoreman. So I started that in 2016. I tie up ships and I sail ships around the Port of Houston. Actually coming up around April 16-ish, that'll be my 6-year anniversary of when I got hired.
Dang.
That is the longest time I have kept a job. I usually get bored with jobs, but this is like an actual career. So it's cool, man. We're going to get into the history of that because that has definitely been a journey. Another thing that I got into in 2020 for 2 years is stocks. I invest in stocks on the weekly. I don't really do the risky stuff, just the ones that pay dividends, the safe ones where I won't lose too much money.
Coca-Cola.
You won't gain too much money, but it's more of a long-term thing. But that's been going really, really actually well. And yeah, that's about it when it comes to the money side. So
run me through like a day at work. Like when you you pull up to the parking lot, like get out of your truck and what happens?
So a day at work is, I'll wake up and I never know how my day's going to be. I can look up on my phone and I can see it, it drives me crazy sometimes. And I can see like what ships are coming in and I'll be checked on and on call. Say they'll call me at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. If I'm not feeling lazy that day, I'll get up at 4 a.m. and go do the jobs at 6:30 a.m. And it just depends on what job we're doing. So say if like we're doing a sailing, I'll get up, we'll take off the lines off that ship. The ship will sail. We get the money for that job. If we got to tie up a ship, we'll drive a workboat. I can either be driving a workboat or somebody else can, depending on what type of mood I am and on my seniority if it gets passed on to me. And we'll go ahead and tie that ship up. So pretty much, it just depends on the day. 70% of the time, you're going to get a full work day, but there are times like last week, I didn't know what to do with myself because on Friday, I was pretty much just waiting all day and there was just nothing coming in. And it's like your body's so used to routine-ish is coming and going. So you're just like waiting there and you just don't know what to do. So, yeah.
And then you don't want to like make a bunch of plans just in case you get called
in.
Dude,
exactly. And that is another thing that drives me nuts. But like I said, we're going to get into all of that. And you're so right because you don't make a bunch of plans. I don't like to go do something that, you got to call for work. Like if I'm going to make some plans, I'm going to focus on that plan and continue on throughout my day without having to go to work.
Exactly. Okay, so we got a little itinerary. We're going to talk about several things going all the way back to 2016. So you said this is your 6th year. This is my 6th year in real estate. So
nice, man.
We were fighting the battle at the same time.
We were definitely fighting a battle, man. 2016. So we're going to go. I've been wanting to talk about this, so it's going to feel good to get this all off of my chest. I feel like I'm in like therapy right now, getting everything off. So when I started in 2016, man, I had never really had like a career making like decent money. Made okay money, but this is like money you can make a living off of. So I had started like seeing how the job worked out, how I was at the bottom of the barrel and I had to remain on call and get these jobs in to like get my promotional move up. And at the time, I wasn't doing really good financially, man. I was in about 40 to 50K in debt.
What?
Yeah, man. Like
credit card debt?
Credit card debt, truck payment, but mostly credit card debt.
Damn.
Because all these times, and you remember when I was working at 24 Hour Fitness with Gus, shout out to Gus.
Shout out to Gus, shout out Keegan.
Shout out Keegan. And I was just running wild, man. You would make that money and you'd go on the weekends and I'd just be, swiping that credit card. Oh, here's your minimum payment. I'm just living life. Like, dude, I'm straight up like, I was just treating those credit cards like it was just free money.
Right.
Never missed one payment on a credit card ever, but I was just treating it like it was free money, make my minimum payment, save here, save there, just enough to like get by or whatever. Well, I had started looking at money a little bit differently, and I'm like, man, I have a vision. Like right now, I am not like in a good position. And this goes for everybody listening. I am not in a good position to be in a relationship right now. Like I need to get myself together financially, and I need to clean up this debt, because you can take, it's like you're going right or the left. You can go the right way and like figure yourself out. But if you take that left, it's like you're never going to get ahead and you're just trapped. You could maybe, God forbid, you could maybe end up like having a kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, like, if you have a kid or getting married while you're in that, financial burden, you're never going to get ahead.
It's a hole, man.
You're going to be a slave to your liabilities. And it just, not saying that relationship ended because of that. I'm just saying when that relationship ended, it was go time.
Right.
So we were going to get into this. So I started looking at work so this is around like 2017 comes. So the rest of 2016 goes by with work. It goes by okay. So 2017 starts, and I'm just like in full work mode. I'm like, I don't need to like be going on any dates. I don't need to be like going out to eat. I need to be focused, working, and just getting rid of this debt.
Yes.
So everything's going good. I was living with my dad at the time. And then finally my dad was like, hey, like.
Great guy, by the way.
Yeah. Joe Estrada. Mm-hmm. And he had some good things to say about you too. So he was like, hey man, you're going to have to like, move out. And then that was like, shoot, like I'm still like in all this debt, but you know what, whatever. Me not thinking, I move into a nice apartment. Of course I had a roommate at the time, but I was in there for about 2 months, and I'm like, okay, I'm paying X amount of dollars for rent. I'm still not moved up yet at my job. I'm making decent money, but I'm having to remain on call 24/7 to make this decent amount of money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to figure out something. So I signed the lease for 6 months, thank God. And then I'm like, man, I gotta downgrade. And and this is where these books come in. At the time, I was reading a bunch of financial books and a bunch of self-help books, which I'd read 25 books in 2017, which drastically changed my life for the better. I got more mature. My mental was so much better. It was just great. And it was saying how all this stuff, like if you got something to take care of, you're going to have to just, take a bite out of it, and you're going to have to not let your ego get in the way.
100%. I can relate to that for sure.
Yeah. And I had a friend, man, named Gregory. He had told me that I could move in with him, and I was paying way less rent moving in with him, but I had ended up just paying, like I was just seeing this debt like just come down drastically. Like I'm telling you, man, my balls against the wall, just going to work, paying this off. Like I wasn't messing around. I wasn't like going out and doing this, going out and doing that. So we get into about, I know I'm like all around the place, but I'm still in the year 2017. And I got into an incident at work at April. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it was the last real like incident where my anger had took over and somebody had filed a grievance against me. And no, like it wasn't like a fight or nothing. It was just exchange of words.
Just words.
Yeah, just words. And I really did think that something was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to get fired or not, but like I thought I was going to get suspended for a long amount of time, and that was just going to ruin the plan, ruin the process. And thank God it didn't. But ever since that moment, I literally like it takes me a lot to like get mad. I have just matured so much, and I don't act on a certain way. I could be mad at somebody, but I'm not going to hold a grudge against them.
Well, whatever makes you angry controls your whole life.
Exactly.
So, like, if you let everything piss you off, you're going to be pretty miserable, because there's going to be a lot of things in life that piss you off.
Exactly. So we'll get past that, start going along with the process, start paying off debt. And so everything goes good. And I wish I've been trying to like find that, I guess, happiness again, but 2017 definitely a self-growth and just a fantastic year. And if there's anything, I'm not going to get too much into it, But if there's any books that I would suggest for somebody to change their lives or just be a lot smarter, You Are a Badass at Making Money, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, 48 Laws of Power. There's two. I got to throw in an autobiography, the Rick Ross autobiography. I know it's not like a self-help, but it's just great to see like how much he had like hustled and to get in the position that he was at. And there's one more, but if it comes to mind, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. So.
Okay. So focusing on yourself, kind of talked about that, living below your means. So like what kind of things did you cut out of your life? Because I've been doing the same too. I've been trying to simplify my life.
Doesn't seem like it.
Well, I am, because
I got you.
Yeah, you just get to a point to where you just realize like what matters, and if you have a long-term plan, you have to make sacrifices, right?
100%.
Yeah. So, talk about that a little bit, like what you cut out.
So, like, I think all people. No, I wouldn't say all people. I think like 80% of the person, they think like, oh, I have to have this nice house, or I have to have this nice vehicle, or nice. For me, I mean, I was always, and I had to cut down too. I wasn't really about vehicles and living. Even when I was living below my means, I always like blew a lot of money on clothes. Yeah. Like I'm talking about, like I'd go to the mall and like blow like $1,500 just on clothes. That'd be my average trip to the mall, but I wouldn't do it that much, but it'd be like a once every 3 months or 4 months. And you're buying all these clothes and you see like, it's great to go in your closet and you don't have that problem. Like what I'm going to wear, your shoes are out there, your clothes are out there. But after a while, you know, you're putting that on a credit card and you're like, okay, these are liabilities. Like I don't really need these, but I'm out here at work, waking up at 6 a.m. Yeah, I'm making money to like, you know, I need to pay my rent or I need to do this and that, but I'm also paying this. Yeah. And I'm like working for this, which is cool, but this is a liability. This is not making me money. So when I was reading these books, it just gave me this mind frame like, I don't need this new truck yet. Let me go ahead and pay off this truck. That's an extra $600 a month that's coming into me, and I could do whatever I need to do with this. So when I was doing that, I was saving, and then somebody had referred to me, and this was in it's around like 2018, living below the means. Somebody had told me about a Discover savings account, which you earn interest on your money. And I never heard about that. I wasn't really familiar about that. I wasn't familiar about stocks. And I put that money in there, and you've seen that money grow. I think it's like, I can't remember, maybe $10 or $15 a month when interest rates were like really high for a savings account on an online savings account. Not a lot of people know about that. And then that's when because I had studied stocks before 2 years before I invested, and I got introduced to them in 2018. And my friend would always talk about dividends. And I'm like, what are dividends? He's like, oh, you get money like quarterly if you have this money in here. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you get that money. He's like, no, you don't get that money. You can get that money, but you need to go ahead and reinvest it.
Put it right back in.
Put it right back in, and it just rolls back, and then you keep on buying, and it just compounds. And I'm like, man, that is so awesome. But it took me 2 years to like fully understand that. But as far as when it comes to just living below your means, it's just getting in that mindset. It's just pretty much putting your ego to the side. I think so many people, we have egos, and we have certain people to impress. Like, I won't lie to you. When I was like stunting on Instagram, going on vacations like once every 2 months, like the bank account wasn't looking too good. Right. And it's like, and I feel like that's the way and everyone needs to realize that, like, no, they aren't affording that. They're in a buttload of debt. And it's just like,
and you realize after a while of doing that, like, people don't care. Like,
people
really,
don't care.
They don't care.
And that's where our maturity, and I'm glad you said that, because that's where our maturity comes up. Because I think when I was in my late 20s, I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm on the Instagram, I'm getting attention from everybody. Oh man, you out there doing that? How do you have this much money? And in my head, I'm like, I don't got that much money. It's just like the credit.
People think though, that's the problem with Instagram, is what you see on there is not reality. And it's like, just, I don't even know the word for it, but just like an exaggerated version of like the best moments of people's lives.
For sure. It's definitely an exaggerated moment. I think people sometimes, like, I'll see some people too, and I'm not knocking anybody, but like there'll be people that are just working out every single day. And I'm just like, okay, what are they doing for work? And it's like they'll put, but I'm saying like,
no, I know.
They'll put Instagram first over their lives.
Yeah.
And I was a victim of doing that. But as you grow older and you see the way like, you know, money's working and you're like, dude, I can't, like, I'm impressing people, but like I'm living a tougher life. Now I'm not impressing people, but my life's so much easier. You got to put your life first before the social media stuff.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't do that.
No, hardly anyone.
Hardly anybody doesn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, even on Facebook now, like older people are going nuts on like, just people feel like they need to have a take on everything now. Yep. And I've been guilty of it too, but like, why does like someone's aunt need to have their input about like trade policy or something?
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly. And my friend was like, there was one time too, I think it was around 2018. I was going to Atlanta. It's the first trip I ever went on by myself, and I absolutely loved it. But my friend was like, why are you going to Atlanta again? I was like, man, it's a little publicity stunt. Like, I'm doing good at work. I just, you know, I want to go out there. I want to take some pictures, but I wanted to go to Atlanta, but a little bit of my side was like, man, I want to do this for the gram too. And that's where that conversation comes in, is like, I was trying to impress these people with more of like, hey, is my life getting easier or is it getting harder?
Yeah. And one of the thoughts I just had was, you know, money. I've really kind of transitioned from looking at dollars as like, you know, I have this much saved up, or I have this, or I have that. But if you look at it as energy, so like you're at work burning energy for money. So that energy is transferred into what you get paid, right?
Of course.
And then that cash, which is energy from your work, gets transferred into either stuff that's going to make you money or stuff that's going to make you lose like $1,500 every 3 months in clothes. I mean, so it's like, where do you want your energy to go? I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think also where people get, like you were saying, how people are like on Instagram more than like having a job, or like they think that's their job, or they're trying to get like a bunch of followers or clout or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of foggy there, because I feel like the classic, like, you know, back in the day, it was, you know, you go to high school, you get married, you get a job. And like my grandpa worked for the same company for, I don't even know how long, probably 40 years. And then he retired, got a gold watch, and he had a great living. And that's the way it was back then. Like you could make a good living doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't do that still.
Yeah.
But that's way less common. Like you were saying, you're 6 years in on this job, and that's a long time. Like most people change jobs now every like 4 or 5 years.
Dude, yes. Yes.
And I'm sure you've seen I've seen a lot of turnover in the real estate industry. And I mean, it's a high turnover business anyways, but yeah. I bet you've seen a lot of people come and go out at the docks.
Not as much as you would think. I think before I got there, yes. Now that I think about it, well, you know what? I would say about like 10 since I've been there. I don't know if that's too many or not, but we've actually been hiring a lot more people. I think when I had started, there was, I was at the bottom of the barrel. I think when we started, we had 81 people. Now that I'm there, we have like about 100, but it's getting busier now. So yeah.
And you said you had trouble with your job. What?
Yeah. So, there was a point, and this is what really, was a turning point. So to get a qualification to move up into a certain group. So there was a group called E group that I was in. And when you're trying to get your promotion, you move into this group called D group. But they were doing an emergency move up, and that move up was called D2.
So you go from D to E.
Go from E to D.
Oh, okay. I'm
sorry, I made it a little confusing. You go from E to D, but they made this emergency move up to make it to D2. So you go from E to D2.
Okay.
On this little emergency move up that they were doing. So they weren't having like a lot of people work. So they're like, because they had all these people. You got to think, you're on call all the time. A lot of people are on call all the time. They're not going to wait. They're going to go and do something else. So when they try and call you, those people aren't ready for work, and they need people to work.
Right.
So they're like, why not give these people a move up to where they're full-time instead of part-time, and like we'll have them working, and it'll be easier to fill up these jobs. Well, you need qualifications that you need to learn how to dispatch, and you need to learn how to drive a boat before you can get moved up. Well, I was far away from my move up. I was probably 8 spots behind, maybe something like that. And they were going to have an emergency move up like out of nowhere. I didn't get my stuff done because my move up was so far away.
Right.
They did this emergency move up, move like 5 or 6 people that were behind me in front of me for the rest of my life while I'm here. And that just destroyed me. And I don't think they did it right. They didn't discuss anything. I think it was just kind of like an inside job or whatever, but they went ahead and moved these people up. And then I'm just like, damn. So right then and there, I got my stuff done, waited probably like another, I can't remember where we're at, if that was 2018 or 2019, but I did get my promotion in June of 2020. But that kind of scarred me a little bit because I'm like, wow, like, yeah, I have it good, but I could have it better. And it messed with me for about like a good year. Cause I mean, that's your living. That's what you do. Like, yeah. I mean, that's a part of your everyday life almost.
But the hindsight's 2020. I mean, you got to go through that stuff to realize like, oh man, I should have been on my stuff. Like I should have been taking care of business.
You know what? And to everything I just said, you're exactly right. And I hate admitting it, but you're right. I should have took care of business and I should have never got comfortable.
Hey, I've been there too, bro.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that. But yeah, it's like sometimes I do think about it. I'm like, man, they didn't do it right. But at the end of the day, yeah, I should have had it done and I should have took care of business. And hey, you live and you learn. So
100%.
when it comes to next time, we'll make sure that business is taken care of.
But it's better to learn that lesson at 30 than it is 50.
Of course.
Or 40.
Of course.
Or whatever. So
For sure. So I would say those were the troubles. But as far as that, I mean, everything's good now.
Cool.
So yeah.
So out at like where you go to work, like tell me some differences you see now, just like with the whole Ukraine thing going on, the supply chain. Tell me how it is now compared to how it was in maybe 2017 or 18.
Honestly, man, I don't see much of a difference. Since this war started, it has been a lot slower. I do think it was a lot more busier 2017, 2018. I think we had a lot more shipments going. I think was the economy was doing good 2017, 2018. It was rocking.
That was when I started in real estate and it was like, dude, it was so great.
So okay.
Oh my God, it was I missed those days.
I wouldn't say it's a major difference, but I sure can tell. I remember 2017, 2018, like ships just like booming, and there would be times to where like, okay, this is too much work to handle. Yeah. This money is good, but like I can't be like, you know, you're tying up as many ships as you can. You go home, maybe get 3-4 hours of sleep. You're right back out there. And we had people complaining. I never heard this, but you had people complaining that there was too much work. I haven't really heard that in a while. So I would say there was a lot more work back then. We still get a lot of work now, but I think with this whole Ukraine thing or whatever, it's starting to slow down just a little bit. Like we had a slow week last week.
Yeah.
And this week has been kind of slowish. You'll get the jobs, but it's more waiting around instead of just like, hey, let me get this, let me get that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember in 2020 when COVID happened, dude, so I had no closings in January. I had no closings in February, and then COVID happened in March. So I'm like, dude, I'm done. Like this year's chalk. By May, I was like where I should have, like it was insane. But I got to a point that summer where work was just like, it was on the verge of me needing to hire someone to like take care of my paperwork just because I was waking up. The phone was going off from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. like every day.
Yeah.
And I just tried to tell myself that whole time, I'm like, dude, there's going to be a time when it's not like this. So make hay while what's that I was saying? Make hay while the sun's shining.
Yeah.
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 So that's what I tried to tell myself. And I did. I mean, I did my best, and that was like my best year ever. And then, I mean, now the way the market is right now, it's just running so hot that, I mean, I'm grinding harder than I've ever grinded. So
that's awesome.
So I'm hoping for abundance like that again, you know, soon.
Yeah. I like the way you say it, man. When the work's there, you just got to bite the bullet and just go and get it. And that's the way to look at it. It's crazy how it's not the same, but it's kind of the same, like the work industries and how the work's coming. Because I know it is kind of the same, because it's like you make great money, but you're not guaranteed that. You got to like go out and get that check. That check's not coming to you. You're going to the check.
No, there's no handouts.
Yeah, same on my end. It's like,
well,
I'm
I guess
going out there.
There kind of is handouts, but you got to sign up for them.
Exactly. So
yeah. Okay. So 2022, tell us kind of the status now. You said you're living life comfortably.
Living life comfortably, man. So we had went over the whole debt situation. So ended up like paying everything off, practically living debt free at the moment. I started investing in stocks in 2020. Dude, I invested like at the perfect time to where all these stocks were crashing, and I just like boom, 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 investing here, investing there. And got some great returns, and those dividends just keep on like just compounding.
What'd you buy?
I bought VBR. There's a stock called VBR. It's a Vanguard SPY-D that overlooks the S&P 500. What else did I get in there?
No Tesla?
No Tesla.
No Dogecoin?
No Dogecoin. Not in crypto yet. Oh no, actually I did do crypto. I got a quick little return on the Ethereum. Is that what they call it? Yeah, I got a good little return on that. I wasn't in it for the long run. I just wanted to make like a quick little dollar real quick. I did take a huge loss on there's only one stock that I took a huge loss on. That was AT&T. Oh dude, really? It was so bad. Yeah, I was probably 150, 160 shares deep, and I think I bought it like $30. Dude, that stock crashed to like, I think it's at like $24, $25 now. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, dude. It was a lot. But
this is why I have a guy. He's smart. He's way smarter than me. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm scared of that, man.
Yeah. You got to take the losses with the wins, though. At the end of the day, if you're doing it right, those wins are always gonna outdo the losses. But the thing with stocks that I will say, like if you're first getting into it, don't invest a lot when the economy's doing good. You want to just start going like when the economy's doing bad, because that's when you'll see those huge gains instead of seeing a little bit of gain and a little loss. Because you could say if you invested so much right now in that stock and the stock crash, like you're going to be doing bad because the economy's doing so. I mean, the economy's okay right now, and it's been doing good, but like I feel like we're on the verge of a crash soon. I hate to say it, but like I kind of.
Well, if you look at historically, it goes up and then back. And then,
yeah,
but it goes up over time. But
yeah,
no, but yeah, I bought some Dogecoin just because I saw Elon Musk tweet about Doge. I'm like, what is Dogecoin? So I look into it.
Yeah,
it was like 0.03 cents like per coin. So I think I bought $500 worth of it.
Yeah.
Well, I get a text message one day, and it's one of my friends, Tino. He's like, bro, look at Dogecoin. So I get on my Robinhood. It had gone up to like 4 or 5 cents, and I was up like $1,500. Oh. So at that point, I bought like $400 more. So I'm like $950 in.
Yeah.
Well, then it went to like 72 cents, and I was up like $21,000.
God. Did you sell?
This is the painful part.
Oh, man.
So my guy, like my stock guy, I texted him. I was like, dude, I did this. Here's where it's at. What should I do? He goes, sell half of it right now. And I was like, and I didn't do it. And I'm back down to, I'm still 1,500 up. But I mean, dude, I'm just holding it like, and if it ever hits $1, it'll be stupid. So I'm just going to hold it indefinitely.
Yeah. Dang, dude. Yeah, that is crazy. Nah, hey, AT&T was at a point too, and I'm like, I should go ahead and get rid of it because it's been up and down, and I didn't, and then that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about crypto though, man. I don't know, like it just the fact that there's nothing tangible in your hand.
I don't believe in it.
Yeah,
I don't believe in it.
I don't know. I feel like it might be just all hype because
I think it's all hype.
That's the human condition. Is like whatever we say is valuable is like whatever we place value on, like that's scarce, like, okay, so if you have a painting from some famous artist, like, dude, that's something you can hold in your hand.
For sure.
And it's rare. So people want that. But I don't know. Because, I mean, you could go back to 2013 and see these videos of people that are like Bitcoin was at like $1.
Exactly.
And they're like, oh, it'll never happen, sell. And then, if you would have had $100 worth back then, now it'd be worth millions, bro.
Dude, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's kind of like reached its peak, and so many people are like, yeah, Bitcoin, but I think we've already seen it get to where it's going to get to. Like, yeah, it could go a little higher, but I feel like it's too good to be true. I feel like so many people are in it, and then when so many people are in it, that's when it doesn't usually succeed. You got to get it when people aren't in it, and then when people are in it, and then sell it. But no, I hear you, man. I hear you.
And
but,
can governments just shut it down?
Yes.
Didn't China say like, hey, we're not, no Bitcoin over here?
Dude, yeah, China said that. And then I think there was something that Biden was going to seize some stuff. And it's just ridiculous, man. But I liked how you said earlier, I know I'm switching the subject a little bit because you talked about like living comfortably and stuff and how you saying this year, which it was great to hear how you're hustling harder than ever. I think I think sometimes, and it's the bad thing, the bad and the good. Like living comfortably is cool. Like you really don't have no stress. You're taking care of things. But sometimes it can come back and bite you because you could be too comfortable. And that is the number one mistake that I wish I would have never done because I had took care of my goals and what I wanted to do. And then I was just kind of sitting there. So go ahead.
No, I think so. I've kind of had this thought. Like I was in this deep into a 3 mile run the other day, and I just get these thoughts. One of these thoughts I had the other day was, you're really like, and I'm not saying in all cases, but in most cases, you are paid directly based on the amount of stress you handle.
Okay. Say that again. You're paid directly?
You're paid directly. It's a direct relationship between what you make and the stress you handle.
Dude, I love it. All right, keep going.
So think about like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Like,
yes.
Oh, they make, people, I hear people complain all the time. Like they make so much money. They get these huge bonuses. Like, should you give yourself a bonus when your company is about to go bankrupt? No, you shouldn't.
No.
Like that's a more like, no, you shouldn't. But if the company's doing well and you're making billions of dollars by making good decisions as a CEO, like, do you think those dudes are stressed out? Because I think they probably are. I think
yes.
And I don't see that, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but most CEOs, I don't feel like they're CEOs of companies for like very long spans of time.
They aren't.
Bro, it's like being president. I feel like
they aren't.
Like when you saw like George Bush when he went in office versus whenever he came out, and he aged like 20 years.
Are you saying that they just can't handle that stress?
Well, it's not that they can't handle it, but it's an unsustainable amount of stress. Like you can't be that stressed out for 30 years.
Do you believe in more money, more problems?
In a way,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely noticed whenever I've bought like cars or whatever, the stress of, so like with my Tesla, which I sold, by the way.
Okay, I was looking for it. I was like, where's the Tesla?
Well, the reason I did that, I got rear-ended twice in 2 months, and the value just went. So I just went ahead and sold it. I did all right, but I felt like every time I took it out, like, I love driving the car, but if there's a pothole in the road, I gotta like watch out for all that. I can't just run it through Bubbles Car Wash because it'll scratch the paint. Like it'll put swirl marks in the paint. So dude, with this little Nissan out here, I run it through Bubbles every day. I don't care.
Yeah.
I paid $8,000 for the truck.
Nice.
And I don't care about impressing anybody with what I drive. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care.
Yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And it's so crazy how I think people, they see us like sometimes they see, oh, he lives a good life, or they live a good life. Oh, they have it easy. And we don't, man. We go, and I'm glad you brought up the stuff. Like, man, when I'm busting ass, like I'm stressing.
Yeah.
I'm stressing.
Yeah. Dude, and real estate is the number one career where people just think we like drive around and show houses and then go pick up.
Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, drive around, shows nice. Oh no, I know y'all from hearing my mom, just the paperwork, the clients telling you to show and they're not even interested or didn't get pre-approved or
like you can, the thing about being a realtor is kind of like being a stockbroker. You can work your fingers to the bone and then like something out of your control can just come and kill the deal.
Exactly.
So, but it's really made me like mentally way stronger because I have so much better stress management now. Because I learned real quick, like if you have all these expectations about like say you're going into a deal and you're like, I expect this to like if you have zero expectations, you're going to have way less stress.
What are you doing to like just be mentally like handling stress? Because that's what I need to do. And I've been getting better, but I need to get more better.
Working out, for one.
Okay.
I mean, you work out.
Yeah.
I've found that doing long cardio.
Yep. You always tell me elliptical.
Like from the time you wake up till halfway through your workout, I like to go in the mornings And it's miserable waking up, going to the gym,
Yeah, it is.
getting on the elliptical or starting that run. But like halfway through that workout, I'm a different person, bro. Like after I walk out of that gym, because the thing is like the hard stuff is, well, the physically hard stuff, which can kind of translate into mentally hard things.
Yeah.
It's like you already put yourself through hell first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So everything else is kind of
cake.
I don't want to say, yeah, it can be.
And you're doing about, what, 45 minutes to an hour on the elliptical?
I usually do an hour on the elliptical.
You got me on the elliptical. I remember I asked you, because we were at 24-hour fitness when it was 24-hour fitness on Fairmont.
Yeah.
And I'd ask you what you do in the elliptical.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring up one more thing. We were talking about like the stuff about living comfortably, being comfortable. I think what had happened is the goals that I had, being debt free, wanted to make an X amount of money, wanted to get moved up, wanting to travel, wanted to go to Green Bay, LA. I did all these things, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't used to really accomplishing like a lot of goals. Accomplishing a lot of goals at one and accomplishing a lot of goals in a short span of time. And then you do that, and it's like you start like doing really good for yourself, and then just all these problems come. Like sometimes I don't know if you've ever gone through this, but like envy from
that's
friends.
everybody, bro. Human nature.
You lose friends. I've lost a lot of friends when it came to envy, and it's just you sometimes like I've lost friends when it came to working out. Like they see you, they aren't used to you getting the attention. This is back in like 2012, 2013, but it's like that's when I started working out, and they see you being successful at that. Then you're getting attention. Now you're the popular guy, and then sometimes that other person, they can't like handle that. They're not used to seeing you like that and like taking over. And the same with like work sometimes. Like some people, they don't want to see you doing good, and it's
They
crazy.
want to see you doing good, but not better than them.
Exactly. And it's like, man, y'all are my friend. I don't care if y'all are doing worse than me or better than me. Like we're all supposed to be friends. We're all supposed to be good. But I have noticed my circle has definitely gotten smaller. But I do know now like who to trust, who to not.
For sure.
And it just kind of goes from there.
I remember one time my dad, I think it was like my senior year of high school. He goes, you're about to graduate and you won't see none of these people.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, man, we'll still kick it. Like we'll still hang out. And I had like a select core group of friends like into college and afterwards. And I still do have like a core group.
Same.
But like maybe 25 to 35% of them just like over time just drop off. Like they move off and it's not like it's all bad blood or anything.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, you grow up, you have kids,
family,
whatever. You can't like chill with the boys all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
but anyways,
all right, dude. Well, is anything else you want to say?
Man, I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm excited. I think you're. I'm not just saying this because you're a friend, but I got a good feeling about this podcast.
Me
man.
too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it did pretty good for the I was looking at the views and I was like, man, them views are shooting up for that last one.
Well, I just want to be consistent and like
that's all you got to do.
Enjoy myself.
Yep.
Learn something and just kind of collaborate and kick it with people.
Did you learn anything today?
I learned about what you do. I didn't know that you tie ships up. I mean, dude, how big are those ropes?
Dude, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Just depending on the size of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like a fishing line is like 100-pound test or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like 100-ton test.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. That's wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, nothing else to say. Thanks for having me on here. And yeah, for the people that are watching, get that mindset right. Take care of yourself first, and then at the end of the day, you can live your life without having to slave for the liabilities.
Yeah, and go read some books.
And go read some books. It'll change your life. Don't complain that your life is bad. Go read some books. It'll definitely change your life. So.
All right. Cool, bro. Appreciate it.
My man.
All right. See y'all later.